Good morning on this Friday, guys. It is beautiful Friday. Show you my face here. Good morning, guys. Thank you for joining clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, or of course the News 6 app for Trooper Steve's on patrol today. What are we talking about today? I could barely keep up right now. We have so much amazing things going on. Let's knock that stuff out first before we talk about what we're on patrol about today. Let's go first. What do we have coming up? Monday. Mark your calendars. Monday. This is huge. This person has asked so many times before. I'm not talking to you, Siri. So many times before when the truck was coming out, and that they wanted to get in. They wanted to talk. So Monday morning, 10 a.m., right after the 9 a.m. show, I will have your morning meteorologist, the one and only, Mr. Troy Bridges, my partner in crime, the yin to my yang, my stepbrother on TV, Troy Bridges, with me in the car. We're going to have such a great time. There is no better duo on TV anywhere in this country that partners the way him and I do, and that happen to be the most completely opposite people you've ever met in your life. My brother Troy is going to be hopping right here in the passenger seat, right here with me on Monday at 10 a.m. and we're just going to cruise. We're going to talk. I may have a little surprises up my sleeve or whatnot to make it a little entertaining. It's me and Troy. I got to do something. So Monday morning is what it is all about. I'm prepping for it. He's prepping for it. You guys already know. We'll have a good time. Then, of course, on the August 4th, I believe. Is it August 4th? My days, let's see. All right, so August 8th is a Tuesday. Yes, August 8th, a Tuesday, from 8 o'clock till 11 a.m. over at the Children's Safety Village. Also partnering with us, Academy Sports. We're going to be doing a free helmet safety inspection for your child. Back to school's around the corner. A lot of kids do use the bicycle to get to school. I even use one just to ride around. And we want to make sure that that helmet is fitted properly to your child. So many times we just throw that on our head and we hit the road, but it's moving around. It needs to fit properly so that it's safe for you. But what are we doing today? Right now we are on patrol and we are talking right turns again. But with results one, I can show you a few things and maybe find some of the few signage that makes drivers a little confused. First and foremost, anytime you approach a stop sign or a red traffic signal, you must complete a complete stop, meaning your car comes to final rest. It has stopped all forward movement. It has rocked back into its weight, and it is at a complete stop. This is not California. We don't do the rolling stops here. And you stop where the sign is indicated, meaning where the stop bar on the ground is or where the stop sign is located. You don't cruise past that to where you could see. You stop first, yield, and then you can ease up a little bit if it allows. So let's go out there and test this out a little bit so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So let's go for a ride. So we're in the Forest City area along 434 right now. And we're gonna go north into Seminole. And we're gonna do basic stuff. I wanna go through the basics because I do think that's the hardest part. Example, right here, complete stop at the stop bar, turning signal, and I make a right to the closest travel lane, and we're good. All right, let's go. So as you're driving, I know this sounds ridiculous, and I think I sound ridiculous saying it because I expect drivers to do this. You should be constantly looking around at different signage while you're driving. You want to pay attention to the car in front of you, but you also want to look a few cars ahead. So we're going to continue northbound along Forest City. I'm at Kennedy Avenue right now. But for example, car coming up here, driver does not make a complete stop to the right and goes through. Florida law requires you to come to a complete stop before making that right turn. We've now had 2 drivers not do that. Hopefully this van does it because traffic is coming. Thank you. Yeah, you're not allowed to just proceed through it. It is not a yield. It is not to be treated as a yield because it's not just cars you're looking out for. You're also looking out for pedestrians, bicyclists, children, and other things out on the roadway. You never know what's going to happen, and that's what you kind of need to be prepared for. I feel like sometimes I sound absurd saying the things I'm saying, but it's the truth, right? All right, so we're going to continue northbound here. I want to get closer towards Maitland Boulevard, where we have some multiple lane changes north of Maitland on 434. But the signage is not an option. We talked about that just a few days ago over in DeLand, that yielding is not an option. You are required to do this, to obey these signs. The signs are not here for reference, really. For example, this red light. It is there to tell you to stop. So you stop. Looking around here, there is no signs, right? So if we were not allowed to make a right on red from here at Riverside Park, a sign would indicate no right on red. Or if the stop bar was a little further back and they want you to stop at a specific portion before making that right, the sign's going to say stop here on red with an arrow. That does not mean no right on red. They're just instructing you that transportation wants you to stop here for the signage, and then if you do choose to move on to make that right, you slowly proceed from the required indicated stop. I'm trying to articulate and speak this slowly because it's monotonous. It's boring. But the rules are very, very clear. And I don't know where a lot of you guys come up with some of the stuff that you hear or I hear. Where like, oh, yeah, but I heard that you can just go through if no traffic's coming. Or they said, I'd love to know who is they and where is there. Because everything is so clear. To include signage, it really gets me a little confused because most signage out here is crystal clear if you're looking for it. So if you're just joining us this morning, we're talking the complete stops at right turns, multiple right turning lanes, and I'm trying to find one. But one of the big questions were, what is the rule with double right turning lanes? Meaning you have 2 turning lanes that are indicating to go right. If you're at a stoplight and there's no signage, can you make the right from that far one? And my answer has always been yes. But you have to be able to know what you're doing before you do it. So ensuring that there is no sign that says no right on red, or there are times where signage does indicate right on red from right lane only. So they can throw that in there and it gets a little tricky. So you got to be very cautious. Another thing is when you're making a right turn and it's into another roadway or a private parking lot. And that Honda, good job there, SRV, with your Kentucky tags. That's a stop sign. They must not have those in Kentucky. But headed north on Forest City, coming up on Trailwood Drive. We're in Seminole County, and we're talking right on red, right turns in general. So this is a good example. All right, you're making a right into a private parking lot. No signage, right? But if a pedestrian was crossing on this sidewalk, I would have to yield to them. There is not a pedestrian on the sidewalk, so I'm not yielding to anybody. Just using that as an example. Let's turn back around and get back out there, because we are not here for storage. Just wanted to show you that. Here, only a right. Stop bar is a little further back. I have to stop at the stop bar first, y'all. You heard me? You gotta stop at the stop bar first. The second, hear me out, the second you pass that stop bar without stopping, if there's an indicator, a stop sign, a traffic light or whatnot, by law, you've run the red light or you have violated the traffic control device. The stop bar is the sign. Technically, you have to run through a finish line in order to finish a race. You can't just say, walk up to it and say, I'm done. Well, no, you didn't finish. There are rules, just like this. There are indicators, physical indicators on the roadway that show, okay, this is what you are supposed to do, this is what you are not supposed to do. Good example of what not to do is like this Dodge Charger who just made a double lane change without indicating. Good job. I'm in a little sassy mood, y'all. Sorry. So, again, the simplest things are the things, the simplest take two. The simplest traffic rules are the ones creating a lot of the problems. Kind of crazy. Busy morning so far. 192 down in Kissimmee, shut down at Hoagland, just to give you a heads up. Monitoring some things out there. This is a long track. Well, okay, pedestrian hit the indicator. So if you ever find yourself that you're at an intersection for a long time and you don't see traffic moving, look for a pedestrian. 9 times out of 10, a pedestrian has activated the pedestrian crosswalk, and at times, once that has happened and it cycles, that will delay the intersection pretty substantially so that pedestrian can cross it. I'm here at Westtown Parkway at 434, large intersection. We're sitting here for a minute. All right, so we're going to continue northbound here. Next signal is going to be Orange Avenue in Seminole, northbound 434. All right, here we go. We're coming up on 436, and we have a double right, I believe. Let's see. No, I think we have a indicated right. So this is a good example. Any right turn we can show today, we have options. So we're going to make a right onto 436 from 434, indicator. I'm moving into the turning lane. This is a different one. I have a designated right go through, but I have to look. Pedestrian crossing, no pedestrians. I have a green light. I can keep moving. I'm on to 436 smooth. This turns from a right turning lane into a right through lane. I'm good. It's all based off of the indication. You've got to look out for that. The issue is no one wants to read. No one wants to pay attention to what the extra signage is. I'm telling you guys from not only the experience side of it, but looking at it and being a driver, the signs are there. City of Altamont, texting in their car, gotta love it. Yeah, get off the phone, dude. It's texting away. This is the thing. We are all responsible for how things go out here. And you need to be aware of your surroundings. When you are distracted inside of a vehicle, you are not looking at the signs that are telling you what's going on. For example, this lane's going to end. Right lane must turn right. I need to get out of this before I get to the light, or you would be required to make the right. Makes sense, right? So we're deep in Seminole right now along 436, coming up on I-4. And we are talking about simple right turns and the majority of rules that go along with it. If I was to make a right turn right here into this shopping plaza and a pedestrian was in that crosswalk, I have to stop. Even if there's no sign saying, hey dude, stop. The pedestrian has that right of way in that crosswalk as I'm approaching, as long as they are showing intent to cross. If there's a sign that says stop before right, what do? You make a stop before you go right. If you find yourself in a left turning lane that is a right turning lane, and you have another one next to you, means you're in a double, and you're in that left lane to turn right, and there's a red light there, as long as you make the complete stop, there's no sign indicating no right on red, then you can make that right as long as you follow the exact same rules as you would in the right lane. Makes sense to me, because it's so simple if we treat it simple. Checklist, right? I'm approaching the light. The light is red. Okay, so I'm required to stop. No sign saying I can't turn right on red, so as long as I make the complete stop, I can make the right. If there's a sign saying stop here before you make the right, then guess what? You stop there before making the right-hand turn. All right, let's get into the right travel lane. Traffic's getting pretty crazy, and I don't want to sit out here along I-4 very long. So we're gonna get turned around. And try to find an escape route so we can head back west. Oh, I don't see one. All right, so here, me trying to reroute myself, I'm back in the same spot. But look, oh, great example. Great example. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I wanna show you. I want to show you all something. I may try to get fancy here. Hold on. So, I am exiting a parking lot, right? We're exiting the lot here. Right only. Oh, this is so good. I'm going to try to do this as quick as I can because we're running out of time. I want to show you guys something. So when you're coming up on this parking lot here, there's a stop sign. But the stop sign is nowhere close to the road. Nowhere close to the road. But it's on purpose. It is all on purpose. And there's a reason for this. And I want to show you that reason. So we're going to get kind of fancy here. Give me 1 second. We're going to approach this as a person. And I'm going to show you kind of what I'm referring to when it comes to why this is so important to me. All right, there's a car coming up behind me. Get out of my way. All right, we're in a parking lot. Let's hop in the car real quick. I want to show you guys something. Put the audio on, and then we're gonna wrap this up real quick. Okay, real quick. So as you're exiting any type of parking lot, you've got to be careful because the signage is going to be a little different. For example, here, you're approaching the stop sign. You want to get to the roadway, but look, the stop sign is here, the roadway is there, but the indicator is right here. So if I'm coming up to this, I must stop here first. Why? Because the stop sign's here and there's a sidewalk here. Meaning, step one is to stop here, yield to the pedestrians, and then if there's no pedestrians, it's okay to proceed out a little bit so that you can clear the oncoming traffic and make your turn. But one of the biggest problems I've ever seen is that a driver will drive right past this initially. I'm here to tell you, the second you bypass this, even if you made your stop here, you're in violation of the traffic sign, you're in violation of the right-of-way. I hope that makes a little sense. So, thanks for joining me. Today was pretty good. I got to a few of the right turn rules, got to plug some of the stuff coming up. Tune in News 6 at 9 where we will have so much more information about upcoming events, some of the podcasts coming, some of the interviews on patrol, and then of the upcoming topics. But just make sure that we are looking to the simple things. Let me get back in the truck. Simple things are the goal with this, because when you don't pay attention to minor things, that's when we will begin to see a lot of the major problems. So thank you for joining with me today out here on patrol. Always a pleasure having you guys. Anytime we get a chance to educate, even on the little stuff, that's what it's about. So tune in to News 6 at 9 coming up in just a few minutes. And let me get the right camera going here. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. It's going to be a little wet outside, so please be ready for that. Drive safely and always wear your seatbelt.